What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with more Seekers of Sarmanath. Sorry for a few technical issues there, but we were managing to start pretty much on time, which is remarkably awesome for us. How are you guys doing? It's been a week. What have you been up to? What's shaking?
I bet you guys can guess what I'm going to say.
Basketball and the gym.
Working out.
See, this is why I don't talk that much. I don't even need to. You guys know.
Also, there was some pretty important basketball game on, I heard. Tell us all about it. Us as
So
people who have no idea about basketball.
We're meant to discourage this.
Yesterday was the first 4 overtime game in the NBA playoffs since 1953. So the first 4 OT game that
Can you name the people who played in it, Dan?
Yeah, Syracuse and Boston.
Oh, good
Before
man,
Red
shit.
Auerbach won his first championship, he had Bob Cousy on his team. Bob Cousy put up like 35. Score was 111 to 105.
All right.
All of that checks out.
Yeah, your trivia is too good, man. We couldn't trip you up. We tried.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the game last night, so like these numbers were all spewed at me. So
Nice. Well, congratulations to the Blazers. It's weird kind of cheering for my second favorite team, because I'm like, I adopted you. You guys are a team that I cheer for, but man, I wish my Spurs were here.
Did the Spurs win their first round or no?
nah, we'd be playing them if they won.
Yeah.
Oh, would we?
Dan and I would be at a game, like, arguing with each other in the stands.
Okay.
About who tipped the ball out of bounds.
That was definitely a ridiculous call last night. The fact that we got that ball when CJ tipped it out, I'm all for it. It's a garbage call. It happens every time, but it's garbage. Like,
it's garbage.
Like, that's
I'm so glad
CJ.
that you can admit through your fandom that shit's BS and, like not basketball.
If I was holding that ball and someone comes and slaps it out of my hand like that, and it just like, of course it's touching me last. Like, it's physically gripped in my hand.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. For sure.
Okay, so you don't actually dispute that he was actually touching the ball last.
It's just bullshit, man. It's just like the ball lingered on his finger for a split second after the guy clearly knocked it out of his hands. Like that's.
There'd be no way to knock the ball out of someone's hands unless they're literally the ball is not in their hands anymore. They're dribbling mid dribble.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not become Kevin McHale over here and bog everything down.
I thought you were trying to argue that it hadn't touched the guy last, and I was like, it definitely was. But if you're saying
it's just not basketball, that's what it is.
Like, the rule of the spirit is who knocked the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, like CJ McCollum knocked the ball out of bounds. Like, but it's okay. Mike, what have you been up to?
We have been tackling cleaning projects at the house. My mother-in-law's not home right now, so hopefully no 25-minute long interruption today. We'll find out.
Your room is so clean. Look at it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I tackled the...
Well done! It looks amazing!
Cast behind my shoulder there. Yeah, I've got my Queer Quest poster up from when I met Aram Vartian from God's Fall, and then I've got a bunch of D&D minis on the shelf that I used to have Dragon Ball Z DVDs on, because we packed all of those because I haven't watched them in I don't know, since I lived at the apartment with Greg and them. So I moved some D&D minis over there, so I look like a proper D&D streamer.
Nice.
With the minis on the shelf, and then Greg's arranged my camera on the screen so that you can't actually see the minis. You see the Xbox.
Oh yeah, your face is like really left, isn't it?
Yeah.
Twitch.
I was gonna say weird flex with the wall showing, but okay.
Yeah.
But I have to ask anyway, Dan, real quick. Tell us, what did you get from Macca's? Because he was chewing on. I was told to wait for my banter till the show started.
This
so here's
is not
my
sponsored by McDonald's yet.
No, but we're working on it.
We do accept sponsorships. Even if Greg doesn't, we still do. Okay? Even if Greg doesn't like Macca's and eats his rice with beans like the rest of us is still interested.
Yeah. Mountain Dew, if you're out there, Papa Millman would love a sponsorship. Drink like 30
Can you just imagine? Even if it was just like one day for the rest of your, like while you're streaming, that would just be the greatest.
Even if they didn't send money, if they were like, here, have a case of Mountain Dew to drink on stream, I'd be like, all right.
Are you kidding me? You give me 2, I'll drink them for the rest of my life and nothing else.
Yeah, so I was
your cases are bigger.
sausage muffin with egg and Coke.
Do you add ketchup to yours? Sorry to break off somebody there.
No, that.
No, that's a me thing.
On sausage, on like breakfast sausage.
Yeah, you get breakfast sausage, egg. In Australia, we have the Mighty McMuffin. I don't know if you guys have it. It's
probably not.
Egg, sausage, bacon on the you know, like whatever they have, the bun they have for the morning
English
thing.
muffin toaster thing.
Yeah, yep. And then you get like sauce on it, and I always ask for Big Mac sauce on top of that bitch. But it is delicious. I have Big Mac sauce in everything I eat.
Greg looks more concerned for your health over this than he does for 2 hours of sleep.
Yo, look, I can live with lack of sleep. I'm the king of no sleep. Like, but that was just rough.
Seriously, delicious.
Was it the extra sauce that put you off?
I can't imagine you coming to America and not being out of place.
Are you kidding me? Every time I went somewhere, my girlfriend was like, "You can't order that." And here I am.
Some guy was just like, "Wait, you're gonna put secret sauce on
it?" Yeah, the guy behind the counter is like, "Fucking, I'm in. Let me order."
Right? Whatever.
You just broadened his horizons, man.
Yeah, I'm just blowing people's minds left, right, and center. That and steak. I don't have ketchup, so over here, tomato sauce it's exactly like ketchup. It doesn't taste like ketchup, right?
No, it's better than ketchup.
It's like
exactly, and
it's better. If you ask any Australian, will say it's better than ketchup.
Yeah, and I have tomato sauce with steak, and everybody's like, "You can't do that. You need to order everything else that's on the." I'm like, "I don't want it. I want tomato sauce."
Did you order tomato sauce on your steak at Outback Steakhouse and they tried
we
to tell
didn't go. It was
really?
To do, and we didn't get to go.
I was really hoping the people at Outback told you, an Australian, what you could and could not eat on your steak from their Australian steakhouse.
It would have. I was ready to throw down because Chelsea was like, "We're going," and I was like, "Yay!" And then we didn't get time. And when I was ordering stuff, they're gonna be like, "You want what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is what I eat at home. Give me what I eat at home."
So,
Outback Steakhouse also not a sponsor of the stream.
I mean, that doesn't. We don't have them, so like... you gotta pick something that we also have here. Let's be fair. Do you Americans
don't have it?
Do you Americans get hash browns for their McDonald's breakfast?
We do as like the thing when you get it in a meal. It's so good. And I always order like 4 more because
we don't have them, and it upsets a lot of people. Apparently,
I agree. It's like
I got the breakfast.
They're average. They're average. I'm not a fan.
Like,
if you get it in a combo, they'll give you a hash brown. I prefer McGriddles to McMuffins. I like that baked in. I like that baked in syrup.
We don't get McGriddles anymore. We used to have them when they introduced the breakfast. We don't get McGriddles. I love McGriddles. We don't get them anymore.
I put my hash brown in the
I'm gonna have to mark 1 hunger on my character sheet. You guys are.
We're gonna lose our DM for a little bit while he makes a breakfast run because
like entertain the stream. I gotta go to Jack in the Crack real quick.
I gotta live the egg McMuffin life. That's the only stuff we get, except for paninis and shit.
Now you need to get with sausage and then ask for Big Mac sauce.
What? Big Mac sauce. Okay, I'll make a little note somewhere.
That just sounds gross. I don't think I can handle
we ever explain what the McGriddle was?
It shows.
No, we don't have them. Never had them.
It's just like basically English muffin with syrup. Like
it's not even an English muffin. It's a pancake. Like
your
bun is a pancake. It's a thick pancake with syrup.
It's more like a pancake than an English muffin. Yeah.
That's a good thing, Greg. It's a good thing. You don't have to make it sound like it's a bad. It's a good thing.
It's not good.
You get real hungover.
Oh my god! Do you never get this feeling where you're like, oh man, do I want something sweet or do I want something savory? And then you're standing in front of the counter and you just get this griddles thing and you're like, oh fuck it! You know, that's what this is. It's for people who can't make the decision between the two.
I just hear diabetes, right? Like
if diabetes had a flavor, if you could lick diabetes, it would taste like an English, or it would taste like it would taste like that sandwich that I can't
how long
because my brain is failing.
How long did it take our apartment to go through the 2-pound bag of Sour Patch Kids?
A day. Not an acceptable amount of time.
I was going to say, because I'm pretty sure that's what diabetes would really taste like.
I put one of those down by myself in a day. So
yeah,
there was at least 4 of us in that apartment. I feel better about that.
It's true. That's only half a pound of Sour Patch Kids.
When I first saw that bag, I thought it said 20-pound bag of Sour Patch Kids, and I was about to cry in the store.
All right, y'all. I think
Sour Patch Kids also not a sponsor, but definitely an option.
Yeah, definitely an option.
All right. Oh shit. Okay. I think that is an excellent intro to this wonderful show here. So, what happened at the end of last session? You guys made your way through the realm of the Silver Lord. You fought a horrific series of monsters and traps in the cathedral and castle of the Silver Lord, quickly gathering the last of your supplies needed to finish the ritual and unlock the archway that will lead you back to the prime material plane. After a strange encounter on the Rainbow Bridge with an odd fairy-like creature, you managed to rush back, fill the bowls, and make your way through the archway. Those of you who ate things in the realm of the Silver Lord had pieces of you ripped away little by little. And our great and friendly deer person grew an incredible hunger from taking from the basin of the Silver Lord. But all things considered, you made it through fairly well. And we are starting off with you escaping the realm of the Silver Lord. You have all stepped through the archway and are sitting in the swamp where you first were ushered through into a whole new world. You're stepping out just as you left the realm of the Silver Lord, injured and beaten and a little bit worse for the wear. But you've made it through. So, I asked the 4 of you standing here next to this dead body of a beggar, what is it that you're feeling? What is it that you, feel and do here? You're just moments after stepping through the portal, right? What is the feeling that washes through you having escaped this realm?
Insert angry muscly bleat, and then I just start literally going through my rations. I'm like hoeing into them.
Okay. All right, the feeling for Sambar is just pure hunger. You just begin raiding your rations for every bit of meat and nuts and cheese that you can find. And you find that all of it just kind of turns to ash on your tongue, right? It doesn't taste good. It doesn't fill you or satiate you. You just have this raw hunger in your body. What about the rest of you? What are your reactions to getting out of this realm of terror and back into the swamp of the land you come from?
Do we notice right away that everything starts to feel as it should? Like you said, in the other world, everything felt a little off. Do we immediately notice those?
Yes. The kind of natural heat of the bog that you stand in washes over you. It's a temperature that is different than the kind of ethereal coolness that permeated the realm of the Silver Lord. The sounds of nature assault you in a wave. Everything had been so silent, right, in the other realm, and you are thrust back into the world full of stimulus everywhere.
Janlar would be very relieved, obviously. He would pretty much resign to the fact that they were all going to die in there. So he'd just be relieved.
You're all going to die down here.
Well, Rose is going to take in the deepest breath she can, like a full mouthful of swamp air. Because
body.
Exactly. Even though it's rotting, right, it still smells more alive than anything in that other world, I guess. And she's very relieved because she felt... Rose usually feels out of place, let's be honest, but she felt even more out of place in a world that is so artificial in a way, right? So she didn't like the place very much, and she thought the animals in there were quite different to what she's used to and not very friendly. So, yeah, she's very relieved to be back.
All right. Relief, hunger. What about Gorik? What does Gorik feel having stepped through this portal? You seem to be
Gorik?
the only one that took the warning seriously of what you saw.
Yeah, I think since Gorik didn't have any trouble crossing back out, there isn't that same sense of like relief or satisfaction or anything. It was just for Gorik, it was just another part of his story. And now that they're back in the real world, he's going to set about continuing to do what he would normally do. And that begins by casting Gentle Repose as a ritual on this rotting body, which I was trying to do before the fight and kind of got interrupted. So
All right.
he's just going to kind of roll his sleeves up and start tending to the corpse.
Gorik has no feelings about everything that just transpired for the last couple days. He goes right back to his clerical duties. You cast Gentle Repose. It takes you 10 minutes. You catch maybe some distracting glances from Sambar as he salivates over this corpse for a brief moment. But you finish the ritual and eventually get it in Gentle Repose. It will rot no further here in this bog, though the time it has spent here has definitely taken its toll on this body. It is not the...
We're getting a little feedback over somebody's mic.
It was not the pristine corpse that you assumed it was going to be when you began this ritual 2 days ago. So, now that the corpse is taken care of and tended to, and it will rot no further for a little while, what is it the four of you do after you collect yourselves having stepped through this gate? What's your course of action?
I turn to Gorik, and I have a real serious look on my face. As you can see the veins coming in. I'm like, oh man, I need help.
I look at Sambar. How so?
I'm real hungry.
I look at all the rations.
Real hungry.
Jim would take those rations out of his pack and start.
I'm -4 on my rations just then.
Yeah. Chandler would give all my rations to Sambar then, saying, "Here, eat."
It tastes like soot and poo, man. Like ash in my mouth. It's not cutting it. I need help. There's something wrong.
What do you hunger for, Sambar?
That body looked pretty good, but I ain't eating nobody.
Do you remember? Have I used all of my Eyes of the Grave uses? I feel like I used at least 2 or 3.
I remember you using 2 specifically, one in the cathedral and one in the castle, but I don't.
Oh.
I wasn't tracking your character sheet for you, so.
All right. I think I've got 1 left, and I'll use my 1 left to see if Millman is an undead creature now.
All right. Your eyes roll back, the blackness fills your vision, and you see no undead creatures before you.
Okay. I'll tell him, hungering for flesh is something common in the undead. You are not undead yet, Sambar. I'm not sure what's happened to you.
Chandler will, I guess, take 10 minutes and cast Detect Magic, per usual.
Question.
You
The
spent
cigar I
10 minutes.
got from the big green guy count as a magic item?
Yes, it does.
Beast. I have a
my
magic item.
So, after 10 minutes of ritual, you see a new magic item. It is the cigar that Sambar holds. It radiates enchantment magic. Quite strongly, actually. It is not overwhelming in scope and power, but it is probably the second brightest of the auras that you see around you. Beyond that, there's something changed in Millman, or in Sambar. As you gaze at his person, like the chest cavity, that torso of his body radiates a necrotic energy.
Sambar, you seem to be radiating enchantment magic. some strong type somewhere in your body, and then it almost appears as if there's a large necrotic hole in your stomach. So yeah, I would agree that something is very wrong.
I know, I feel like shit. Like, I'm hungry. Like, really hungry.
Perhaps if we rest, we can attend to this. Or, it is not impossible the witch might have a solution for you. Although what price she would charge, I could not say.
She can't have the cigar. I worked for this cigar.
Well, we could at least ask her.
It's true. Is it bad etiquette to ask for help and not pay for it? As I'm filling a big sack of fucking silver coins.
With her, it definitely is, because she only makes those kind of deals, remember? Also, you shouldn't be smoking in her house when you go in, I think.
What did she initially ask us for? She offered us some kind of bargain. Was it a memory that she wanted to take?
She bargained with you to clear out the gas from her, like, kind of well. You don't know it's her well, but now you do, I guess, because I'm dumb. Anyway, you cleared out the gas from her well. And in exchange, she gave you the compass that allowed you to find what you were looking for. You also asked for some healing potions from her. And her price for those was specifically 1 vial of Gorik's blood per potion.
Oh, that's right. That's right. She asked for blood. I knew she'd asked for something that we didn't want to give her.
So, what's the plan, guys? What are you four doing?
Yes, are we traveling to the next town or heading home?
Well, do you want to go to the witch?
I think it is worth checking in with the witch and seeing what she can tell us about your condition. I do not trust the Firebringer to not simply light you ablaze the moment he detects the necrotic pit in the middle of you.
Yeah, let's not ask Tom. All right, Tom's fucking crazy and an alcoholic now, so that's more fire, and I'm not about it. So to the witch.
Before we leave,
just look at the party, like with panic in my eye.
Are the statues still here in this circle?
No. Everything that you saw before is not here. You are simply standing in the mound of dirt and mud and rock in the middle of this kind of swampy area with water around you. The stone floor that had crumbled away beneath you is just now merely this kind of rocky outcropping from the swamp. The statues themselves are gone. The altar itself is no longer there. Seems as if all evidence of an altar that was in the swamp has vanished.
And when I casted Detect Magic, I didn't detect any magic in this area.
You did not, no.
And yeah, I say we need to go see the witch, see if she can help us, and then after that, go back to the manor and make sure that everything is all right there before we go back to Sarmanath.
So, just in case I missed something, do we know whose corpse that is?
I would assume it's one of the first 2 bodies that who found the statue.
So the woman or her husband, was it?
Can I tell if the body's male or female?
You can't.
It was still pristine when we first arrived, right?
It was. I mean, it had its eyes scooped out and replaced with the eyes of the beast.
Right.
Had,
but other than that,
clearly died. Yes, it is a male body.
Okay.
Specifically, you know that this is probably not one of the workers from the Tarange Industries. You know that what they look like and what they work in and are allowed to wear. This is clearly a downtrodden. All right, this is somebody with dirty, tattered clothes, ill-fitting, mismatched, not a uniform of work. This is
so probably a proper beggar.
Some kind of peasant from Colvier, perhaps. That's the closest city to us, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
Peasants pray to the Silver Lord as he gives everybody even cut. Communism.
I don't think anyone prays to the Silver Lord anymore, Sambar. No one except this wizard that the rest of the group encountered in Willard's Mill, anyway.
I never encountered him. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The only three that encountered him were just quiet.
No, I mean he was. Yeah, he was.
It was not my fondest memory, and I'm just like, happy thoughts. Okay.
The voice of Emily Pumpkin. I said we should have killed him, but Tom said I was crazy.
Yeah, I mean at this point it's very clear we should have tried to stop him. But we didn't. So now we have a follow the Silver Lord on the loose.
Are you guys going to stand here in the swamp debating your past choices, or are we going to go?
I mean, sometimes you need to spend some time regretting your past life, Greg.
That's
do you
fair.
never do this?
That's fair.
Sometimes you just,
It's
wallow
all
a little
RP,
bit.
Greg.
Rose,
It's a
so Rose, what
role-playing
is
game.
your character's deepest regrets? Then? Let's existential it up.
No.
Not eating.
Oh, man.
All right, so if we're not going to Freud this up, what are we doing?
So we going back to the witch then first.
Yes, I think we should go to the witch.
Okay.
Yeah, to the witch hut.
You begin making
If
your
we
way
can
through
find
the
it.
swamp, attempting to find, once again, the hut of Morgan, the Witch of the Woods.
Do we still have the compass?
You do have the compass, and as you
Good
pull
point.
it out, you realize that it no longer points anywhere but north.
Nah.
But we can still keep it.
Compass out of it. Yeah.
You still get a compass. This is a very simple compass. It is a piece of cork placed in just like a little kind of pool of water. There's a cap that can go on it so the water doesn't spill out. But in order to view the compass, you have to pull the cap off. And it is magnetized and points north now. Seemingly the charm that was placed on it has worn off since the loss of the altar here. Whatever it was pointing to is gone.
Does it point to magic items? I'll like move the cigar around it, maybe.
The cigar around it causes no effect. It continues to
Lame.
point ever north.
Anywho, to the witch.
All right. So, the four of you have taken your moments to recollect yourselves and examine your life's regrets, and you further your cause into the swamp. Who's leading the way here? Who's remembering the way to the witch?
I am.
As a wanderer,
What?
I remember everywhere we've been.
Gosh darn it, that's true, actually.
All right. You remember everywhere that you have been, and you lead the way unerringly through the swamp. Please give me a survival check to see how well you do in this endeavor. You will get there, but let's see how well you lead the way.
Can I barter for advantage? Because I'm a
Well, I
wanderer?
could assist him, right?
You can get assistance from
even
Rose.
without wonder.
That
yeah,
too.
absolutely. Sure. Roll with advantage.
Oh, crit.
You are the best there ever was, the best there ever will be in this moment. You lead the way unerringly through the swamp, remembering all the pitfalls that slowed you down on the way here with incredible precision. You hear the rustles of creatures and the snaps of potential enemies and lead the way around them, skirting any encounter that I might have rolled up before that before the stream started, and you find yourself at a very similar clearing. There is the sounds of the bamboo fountain snapping its way through the forest, but you have protection from your muffs now, and those of you with Fey ancestry are not driven away by the sound of it. The house sits pristinely in this little clearing in the swamp, raised up on a mound of mud and rock.
Cool. I wasn't here for this section. Do we just walk up and knock on the door, or
You don't
will
see
she
her
just...
out and about. The previous time that you had arrived, she was sitting there and welcoming you as you walked in, but the witch seems nowhere to be found, at least at the moment.
Can I cast thaumaturgy to make the sound of a thunderclap?
You can indeed. A sound of a thunderclap rings out through the forest, or through the swamp. You wait a beat, a moment, and then a bird flies down from the swamp tree, lands near you, and cocks its head and looks at you and says, "Just a minute! I'll be there! Just a minute!"
I nod.
And,
You know, we probably could have just knocked on the door.
Well,
seems rude to approach a witch's house without announcing yourself first. A good way to get turned into a bird, and I look pointedly at the little creature that just spoke to us.
I was gonna look at Faye and be like, "Was that one of yours?" Like,
The bird kind of cocks its head at you when you say that. It says, "Very polite of you," and then flies away. After a few moments, the front door of the hut opens, and this same woman steps forward, kind of waves her hand over, and says, "Yes, come on in, come on in. See that you have returned."
We have successfully, and I look kind of at Sambar, somewhat worse for wear.
You took something, didn't you? I warned you not to do that.
you want some fruit?
She eyes it and says, perhaps I might. And turns her back and walks into the hut, assuming that you will follow with her. When you arrive in there, you see that the arrangement is entirely different than it was the time before you walked in. Before there was kind of some tables and chairs and shelves, and this time it is a room that could have come straight out of Sarmanath. There is high stone walls inside the hut with a large kind of welcoming rug in the center. There's a roaring fire going in the fireplace to the kind of corner. What was once a shack of just trinkets and baubles shoved haphazardly on shelves and little small tables and bookshelves is now like an ornately decorated with like kind of marble statues and gilded paintings inside this little wooden shack in the swamp. She sits herself down at the kind of small sofa in the corner and kind of bids you to sit at these kind of elaborate leather chairs that are around the fireplace. Ice cold drinks with beads of sweat sit on little tables as she kind of folds her arms and legs and looks at you all and says, "So, you've returned to seek my aid. What can I do for you?"
I look to Sambar.
Yeah. Before everybody starts looking at me, I'm already halfway through the drink. I'm like,
it's sweet, like surprisingly sweet. It is not a fruit juice. It's not citrus. It's like a tea that has been sweetened to the point of like to a soda level, right? Like this is shockingly sweet for anybody that's not used to it.
oh, it must taste like heaven for me, and I'm just smashing it.
It does taste good, but sadly leaves you unsated.
Obviously.
I'm sorry, Janmar. What were you saying?
Oh yeah, I was just going to explain to the witch that I saw a necrotic hole in his stomach.
Yes, our impulsive young friend has a tendency to... And I kind of look at the drink that he's finishing.
Are you going to drink that?
He thinks.
No, I'm not. And then I pass my fizz.
Yeah, and I just start drinking his as well.
She kind of raises an eyebrow at you as you start polishing off a second drink. And as you're finishing Janlar's drink, she kind of wiggles her fingers, and the empty glass that you had finished before just fills from the bottom once again with ice-cold drink in it.
He's now two-fisting it.
Yeah, pretty much. I just like wiggle the glass at her. You know the gif of Leonardo DiCaprio? It's like, and then straight down.
She kind of eyes you all and says, "Well, yes, I did warn you, didn't I, not to take anything from this altar. Is the deed done?"
I was okay.
It is. Your well is clean, and your well is clear anyway. The well. We don't know it's her well. That was a slip-up on your part that happened out of the game. The well is clear of the guests that were living there, and the shrine has been, burned and then teleported through and then disappeared when we came back.
You went through? Oh,
yes,
awesome.
our fiery-tempered, equally impulsive friend decided it was a good idea to set the entire shrine ablaze and knock 3 times on the Silver Lord's door with his flaming sphere.
Oh, well, that is disturbing. It is good that you are back. I am impressed that you took something from the Basins, but did not take anything from his realm. Not many.
Holding out the orange.
She eyes the orange again, says, that did not come from the Basin?
No, this is from the realm, baby.
She kind of shakes her head, says, oh.
Yeah, I take
You
some
are-
gems out of my pocket and say, yeah, these came from the Silver Lord's realm as well.
You are almost very fortunate indeed to be able to leave.
Gorek
Those
says.
who take from the Lord of Silver never are allowed to return.
Gorek says, I didn't take anything.
She smiles and says, I would expect as much from a cleric. Rule followers.
I've lived long enough to know who I should listen to and who I should ignore.
She kind of cocks her head at you and looks again. Kind of gives that big sniff. Okay. I am interested to know the exact arrangement of your condition. Another time, perhaps. So, you went through the realm of silver and survived. What can I do for you?
I got an itch I can't scratch. Can you scratch it? Is what I'm trying to get at.
Well, you must
And-
describe your itch to me. I am quite proficient in poultices and salves. Where does it burn?
My stomach
Mm.
is hungry, and I can't sate it.
Oh, yes. She kind of gets up, fiddles around in one of her shelves, pulls out a drawer, and finds a little eyepiece with a large kind of diamond-shaped gem in it. She mutters a word and begins to look at you through the eyepiece. After a few moments, she nods and says, Indeed, I see a powerful curse upon you. I do not know if I can rid it of you, though. For a price, I am sure I could relieve you for some period of time, though I doubt that it will do away with it entirely.
Which is?
My price. I want from you that. And she points at your little cigar.
No!
I would have thought
My hunger.
this woman can fucking hear your thoughts, man.
She says, I see you prize it quite valuably, and
Yep.
it clearly comes from the Lord of Silver's realm. I think I wish to study it.
You can study it, but I want it back.
No, it will be mine.
Never mind. I will deal with my hunger.
Very well.
Do we anything else here? The drinks were amazing, by the way. But I'd still offer. Do you want to grow one of these oranges? They're amazing. It's like the size of a head.
She smiles and says, I doubt anything from the realm of silver would grow here. I have seen those. They were in the basins.
I suspect if you were to cut it open, you would find it to be full of dead flesh and maggots.
An interesting thought. It seems
Most
like a fruit
of the
to me.
things in the Lord of Silver's realm looked appealing on the outside and were rotten at the core.
Like, put my thumbs in it and split it.
It is a fleshy, juicy piece of fruit. It looks like a delicious time.
I like just shrug and start eating it.
Once again, you are not sated by any mortal food, but you can eat it, no problem.
Does he still get temporary HP?
No.
It's still delicious, though. I'll take it.
She kind of eyes
right.
the fruit as you split it open. She looks at Gorik, says, "Seem to be fine to me."
That is true. Perhaps I am overly paranoid of the experiences we had.
It is right to be
Paranoid.
cautious. So, what else can I do for you? If you do not wish the curse removed, surely you had some reason to disturb me today?
Nope, that was it.
You said you were not certain if you could remove Sambar's curse, but you might be able to alleviate it for a time.
Yes.
Do you have any ideas how we could remove it? I suspect traditional magic that removes curses will probably not be adequate.
No, I don't believe it would be either. This is a powerful thing. See here. And she kind of flips her little glass over to you. You can see the magic. It is rooted in his being. It's got its little claws reached all into him. Dragging that out would as likely kill him as it would cure him. I can stunt its growth, shrink it, perhaps, with magic. I'm not sure I could remove it. This is magic from somewhere else, somewhere different from this place. I think you would need magic from that realm, perhaps, or another to pull it out.
I'll just lean over. I don't think she's gonna help us. And I ain't paying for it.
She handed me the eyepiece, right?
Yep.
Can I look through the eyepiece and see what Millman looks like with the?
You can. You see Millman in like silhouette, and you see the veins of his blood kind of like rushing through him, but it's not bloody or gory. It's like light. It's like a light show. You see his nerves is a different color. You see an aura of magic around him, and you see this growing purple, like twisted vine wrapping around and squeezing most of the like inner lights of his torso. You look around, you see magic. You see kind of magic everywhere like this, right? Almost everyone is these like ethereal twists of lights and streams of magic.
Yeah, I was gonna say after I look at Sambar, I look at Janlar, and I assume. Well, he's got one rank of hunger, doesn't he?
No.
Or no? Okay.
They paid the cost.
Yeah,
Okay.
paid the magic cost.
And that so is Janlar just the sort of ethereal, glowy
Yes.
magic?
Yes. In,
All right.
in fact, you turn the gaze on anyone and you see this kind of ethereal bit of them. You see that Janlar seems to have a more powerful aura around him than Sambar does. Same with Rose. The magic courses through them at a higher rate, stronger.
What about the witch?
The witch appears as nothing in the eyeglass.
Just just a
There's-
silhouette, or just she
You just
doesn't
don't
exist
see
in the
her.
eyeglass?
Yeah, the eyeglass doesn't pick her up.
I look down at my hand.
Your hand is like empty, like a silhouette. You have magic running through you.
Okay, so I look the same as Janlar and the rest of them.
Yes.
Okay. I hand it back to her. I see what you mean about our impulsive friend. Do you think that the curse could be transferred into another object rather than outright removed? That might free him of it without killing him.
Perhaps. I would not know without trying. The trying might kill him anyway. You might be onto something, though.
That also sounds
Suitable enough host.
It sounds fairly horrible. An object of immense hunger. It might do more harm than good, at least with a educated mind behind the hunger. We might stand a chance, but if you transport it into some object, it might just be unsatiable.
Janlar, you described an object to me, one that you've acquired in your travels.
You got a bag of devouring?
May I see the dagger?
I looked at Janlar, or I looked at Sambar. Our names are too close.
I like reach into my boot and I'm like, yep.
I'll ask the witch, would this work, do you think?
She...
The dagger I'm referring to, if you can't tell, is the life-drinking one.
Right. She holds up her eyeglass to it, studies it for a moment, shakes her head, says, "No, a powerful enchantment already rests on this dagger, woven into its fiber. Quite a piece, this. I haven't seen work like this done in ages. Ah, a true singer made this. But no, a second magic woven on this dagger would merely break it or mute the attempt. We could perhaps curse it, but it would not be able to take on the magic that binds your friend.
We need something stronger than this to pull the enchant or the curse away.
Stronger is perhaps the wrong word. Something more ready. This one is used, you see. Fine work at that. Better than perhaps even I could do. And I thought I was quite the singer. But you would need an object that was capable of taking the curse, of accepting it, not something already enchanted.
Does she have any voodoo dolls on any of her shelves?
No, this is a finely decorated room. It looks almost like a noble's room.
Okay, there's no like witch objects in here.
Not like there was before. Previously, there was just shelves and shelves of it, haphazardly strewn everywhere.
As he's looking for an item, can I pull out one of the urns?
Yes, you take out the golden urn.
I have the silver urns.
Oh, you took the silver urns, not the golden urns. I have to take note of that. That's a different thing.
He's got the gold ones.
Okay, you take out a silver urn.
This cut it?
She examines it. No, I don't believe so. You see here, this is also enchanted as well. It seems that it will keep fresh whatever is in it. Gently, if you will, like a repose. No, you need something fresh.
You just see me start jamming the orange into the urn.
Well, I don't suppose you would trade this dagger for whatever you can do to Sambar's curse, would you? You seem quite impressed with it.
I have very little need for its purpose, although it is fine work. Yes, I suppose I could take the dagger. I'll take a little more from you two. If you're trading purely in magic items, I feel I was quite generous with you previously. I will take the dagger and the return of my compass and my earmuffs, and I will attempt to work on your friend's curse here.
I look at Janlar. It seems fair. We return the things that belong to her anyway, and it does not seem we have much use for this dagger. I could be wrong. It is up to you. These objects are not mine.
It's more than fair. I believe we'd be returning the earmuffs and compass anyway.
Pay for
the
them?
dagger.
No, I think she just gave them to us, didn't she?
Well, I mean, she gave them to us, but I had assumed we were going to return them.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't need the dagger. While incredibly magical, I feel like it would suck too much life out of me.
Okay. All right. The dagger and the earmuffs are returned. She stands up and says, "You'll have to excuse me a bit. This may be slightly disorienting. I wasn't expecting to have to whip anything up when you came here. Hold on tight." And she kind of whispers to the walls and begins kind of rubbing a magical sign in them, and the whole room kind of shimmers and shudders, and you find yourselves like in a state of whiplash. Everything spins and twirls and is very disconcerting, and you find yourselves standing once again in this like misshapen hut with stacks of voodoo and and herbs and trinkets and feathers hanging from the walls. Your comfortable seats and drinks are gone. You're standing around kind of the central table with a pot that is currently stirring itself. She begins walking from shelf to shelf, gathering different items and different herbs, and you see some dead birds and some other things just thrown into this pot. She begins chanting on it. After about 5 minutes of work, the pot begins to bubble and spew a greenish odor, a greenish hue, a foul odor comes from it. Eventually, this kind of simmers down to a small simmer, and she declares it done. And takes a very large bowl of it out, like probably about a two-hander. You'd have to hold it in two hands in order to really be careful with it. She scoops out an enormous portion of this green potion she has created, and says, "Sambar, you must drink all of this."
Okay, and I just like take it, and as just before I drink it, I like lean to Rose, and I'm like, "If I die, don't let Tom spend all this silver on booze." And then before she can even answer, I just down it.
Alrighty. You down it. Please make a a Constitution saving throw. With DC of your hunger. I believe you're still at 5 hunger.
Yeah, I'm at 5, so
Alright.
this is going to be easy.
Oh, nice. Perfect. So, with that done, the potion runs through you, warm and hot, satiating the hunger briefly. You feel full and no longer hungry for the first time since taking out the silver from this bowl. Please remove all hunger from your character sheet. She eyes you up and down once this is done and says, "Oh, very good. Now, the curse is not lifted." She looks to all of you. "It may still grow back, but I have done what I can to mitigate it."
It is more than I was capable of. I thank you for your assistance.
You're quite welcome. The price was paid fairly, I believe. She kind of eyes the dagger, puts it away inside of her clothes somewhere. Now, then, was there anything else that we can do today?
I look at the party, I'm like, "No, but I'm not looking forward to going outside now that you've got the earmuffs."
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. She snaps her fingers, says, "You should be fine for a little bit. The fountain will cease its work for now."
Before we leave, could you tell us, have you noticed any strange happenings over the last few days while we've been gone?
Like a drunk priest, maybe, bumbling through the swamp?
Yes.
Because we lost one of those.
Yes, he was heading through the swamp back the way you came, I believe. My eyes in the trees spotted him.
Gorik will lean over to Janlar and quietly whisper,
Do you think she should look at the eyes?
I haven't had a chance to... I whisper back. I haven't had a chance to look at them yet. Yeah, so I say I haven't had a chance to look at them yet, and I'd rather take a look at them first before...
Very well. I think that will be everything, unless any of you wish to trade blood for healing potions.
If we leave, I'd like to be the last to go through the door. I'm just gonna announce that before we go.
Okay.
How much blood is in my body? Guys, does anybody have an accurate measurement?
She looks at you and says, "Liters."
Well, she uses metric system. She's really a witch. Well, come along, Sambar. Let's get you away from this fountain before it starts ringing your bell.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, let's get out of here. I'm not about that fountain life.
Right. So just I guess the rest walks through the door. Or do you have anything? Okay.
Nope.
I'm like standing in the door frame for 10 more seconds, and I'm turning around towards the witch.
Okay. The witch kind of looks at you. Says, "Yes, my dear."
And I take a deep breath and I brace myself, straight shoulders. And I look at her in all of my posture and I say, "You have a lovely sense of decoration, have a nice day." And then I leave.
You see a big smile touch the corners of her eyes, and you can feel very good about yourself as you leave the witch's hut.
I'm slightly sweating as I, scoot over to the other.
All right.
Once we leave the building, I'll look to Gorak and say, indeed, I believe if the witch wanted to take the eyes from us, if she decided that she wanted them, we might not have been able to do anything about it.
That is likely true. She does not seem like the kind to take without asking. She struck me as a bargainer rather than a thief. But it is possible you would not have wanted to incur an active interest on that level. Regardless, it seems that we are in a better place with Master Sambar. Let us go and find our incendiary friend.
I agree.
I'm gonna... Sorry.
No, you go.
I'm gonna put one hand on Sandbar's, on his belly. Does it feel normal? Is it like absolutely fine?
As you place your hand on his belly, it does. It feels like a good old normal belly.
I give it a poke.
You give him a poke.
Hey,
you
the
become
belly.
a Pillsbury Doughboy.
Quit it.
I think the hole is gone. See, this is pretty solid. It doesn't...
Stop it.
His belly button is still there. What do you mean the hole is gone?
Yeah, but you can't poke through there, can you? I poke into his belly button. See, that's like... I'm glad you're fine.
Thank you. Me too.
So, you set off through the swamp once again. You make your way deeper in, heading towards Colvir once again. Sambar leading the way as he knows exactly where he's going. You begin making your way through the twists and turns of the swamp. Unfortunately for you, before you can get out, but after a few, I would say probably 20 or so minutes away from the witch's hut, you hear something just splashing and crashing and rushing through the swamp in your direction, followed shortly by large cries in some strange language. Yes, something very similar to that.
Calm down, Murky. All right. I want to get down low and roll stealth. As something is obviously coming towards us.
Sambar drops down into the reeds and tries to stealth up. Alright, you roll a 13, very nice. The sounds of this continue to rush forwards towards you, until eventually, as the party just stands there watching, you see a group of bullywog come screaming through the swamp towards you. They are rushing forward, eyes wide. All of them, all 5 of them in this situation, are armed to the teeth, with wide eyes. All 4 of them, their voices loud and screaming in their language. And they are running at full speed in your direction. And I think right there, we will take our break, and we will come back and resolve this on the other side.
Oh, cliffhangers.
Alrighty, guys. We'll see you in about 5 minutes. Be right back.
Word.